Okay. Well, due to the initial upload of what was supposed to be episode 1 of Rufus Reacts not working, we're going to be doing something very different. Quite different. So if you do not know, this is what is called a visual novel. And it's probably one of the best novels I've ever read. And it's not at all what it looks like it is. So you didn't see it because it's not in the video coming up, but this game comes with a lot of warnings, specifically about those who are not able to stomach certain scenes should not play this game. It's specifically a warning that young children and those who are sensitive to topics such as depression or suicide should not play this game. That's probably a pretty accurate warning. So, of course, neither I nor the creator of the game can stop somebody who is sensitive to such things from watching or playing this game, since it's free to play on Steam, and you merely have to be older than 13 to play it. The warning is there, and if you do have trouble with that, consider heavily before investing yourself into this game. Well, I also have something else to admit. I am not blind going into this game. I know exactly what happens. I've seen pretty much everything that can happen in this game without mods, and it's my personal opinion that if you mod the game, you're sort of distorting the very good message that the creator of the game has installed into it. That being said, even with all those warnings and the like, I do believe that this game is well worth your time and well worth the hours that I will be putting into making a Let's Play of this with Rufus reacting. So like I said, I'm not blind, but Rufus is. He hasn't seen any of this game. I did have a spoof caption with him being introduced to this game, but we did not play it. I merely booted up the menu here. Also, there are certain things in this game that I will not be reading. That said, I'm going to leave them in the language box. I'm not going to blur them out because it all builds to the atmosphere of the game. But I want to keep the Rufus Reacts channel as family friendly as possible, so I am going to put the 13 age restriction on this video if I can. I also recognize that some children can handle things like this while others can't, and so I guess it's a PG rating. Parental guidance, decide whether or not your kid could handle this if you want to show it to them, which means watch it first. It does get pretty heavy in certain points, and if I say any more, I'm actually going to spoil it. So I've been talking about this game for about 4.5 minutes now. So instead of talking anymore, why don't we get into it? Alright. New game. Wants us to enter our name. And of course, what else could we do except Rufus? Right? I mean, come on. Are we going to be able to do anything other than the name Rufus? see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. That's another thing. I'm going to try to give them as unsilly as possible voices, because I do take this game seriously. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait up for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Rufus. Rufus, don't be mean. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think that we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Rufus, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me that you would join a club this year. Did I? Sure, it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I died at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. For those who don't know, a NEET means somebody who is not in education, employment, or training. Basically a shut-in, a young shut-in who just spends all his time on games and anime. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me that you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and is over before I know it. After I pack my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. Thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Yeah? Meanie. Sayori's vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would help bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Hehehe. Don't make promises you can't keep. You can't tell if Sayori's really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Excuse me while I get a drink. Strangely quiet. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Yeah, I glance around the room. Alright, Rufus, you've got to take a few voices. So, tell you what, you take her, and I'll take one other person and you take the last one. Alright, we're going to take her as well. How's that? Yeah? Okay. So I will take girl number 3. Ah, Rufus, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What? Sorry, I'm taking your line, Rufus. Sorry. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think that she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Rufus. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... you too, Monica. Come, sit down, Rufus. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Sorry, I got a little too excited. You're reading these lines really well, Rufus. Proud of you. Oh, sorry. My line. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened, so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a rat tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you... stealing your line again, Rufus. Sorry. Natsuki lifts the foil from the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Suri grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Suri talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Finally, bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Every tsundere character ever. Oh well. Eh? Thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for you, you know. You, dummy. Alright, alright. I'm so sorry, Rufus. I just read all of your line. I will try better next time. I read it in Sayori's voice as well. Okay. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? I don't know why I only ever steal Natsuki's lines. Sorry. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I finally went ahead and stole one of Yuri's lines. Sorry. Don't get too mad at me. Go ahead and read it. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. And we just got a pop-up. Probably appeared right in the middle of her playthrough. So where was I? Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... Well, that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Haha, well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget, publicity, and how to prepare for events. And make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. It didn't take you that time. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes line up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. Looked like you were working on a poem called... Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. So he sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. Natsuki, you write your own poems. I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't. I'm sorry. I just stole half your line. Go ahead. Go ahead and read it. I just get so into my own mind that I start reading yours. Couldn't pay more attention to it. Not a very confident writer yet. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poem. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Oh. I nearly stole that. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Rufus? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Well, we're back at the original topic of me joining the club. I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. So he may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But Rufus, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes line up. Yes, I'm so happy. Zoe wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. Now, then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next club meeting so that we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Rufus, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Rufus, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, so Yuri and I never walk home together anymore because you always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. So this is the main game function of the visual novel. You pick different words. We'll do that next week, probably Tuesday. And of course, since we can't do video reactions on Fridays, this is probably going to be a twice a week thing for at least a little while. So you can expect 2 more uploads tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. Probably Tuesday and Friday. That being said, go ahead and click OK so that I can come down here and save. Make sure that's saved. We're in it. Return. Alright, well, thank you for tuning in. I'll have a special little bit at the end of this episode where I'll go over some more stuff about the game and, well, reiterate the warnings. You didn't see anything this game, but it's coming. I'll also explain sort of the format that we'll have going forward. Well, thank you for watching, and hopefully this will help kickstart the channel, at least a little bit. We'll have more Rufus React videos with Rufus, the Rufus cam, of course. Always the Rufus cam. Well, thank you for watching. Hey, so this is a short little after video clip that I'm going to be doing for pretty much all of the videos connected to Doki Doki Literature Club. So there's a bit of a section before where I was telling everyone about the warnings associated with the game. If you go to the page, the Steam page for the game, you can find the warnings there. It's free to play, so if you've never played it, I actually do recommend picking it up and playing it yourself. All that being said, my plan for the videos associated with it, like I said, probably twice a week, thanks to the first video that Rufus was supposed to, what was supposed to be Rufus's first video is currently blocked. So this is going to be probably a twice a week thing for at least a little while, until that's all resolved and we can start doing Avatar videos again. As far as the format for Doki Doki Literature Club goes, we're probably going to be doing one day for every video. There are, counting the intro day, which is what we did in this video, counting the intro day, will be 9 days, so you can look at about 9 videos for the entire series. I had to think about that for a bit. Probably should have done that before starting this video, but there are 9 days in the game, and so we're going to be doing approximately 9 or 10 episodes, depending on how long it takes us to read through it. No matter what happens, the characters that we stuck with today, those are going to be the characters that each of us will be reading from here on out. And like I said, I'm not blind. I do know that the warnings that the game provides, might want to pay attention to them. Thank you for listening today, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thank you for your support.